just want you to know that the beverage service and the food is open all evening tonight, so from 6 to 10 o'clock. So what I'd like to do is introduce, take the opportunity of introducing the chairman of our gala for this year, who will then introduce a member of Congress and those that are coming in. So I want you all to please join me in giving a big hand of applause to Mr. Luis Vasquez, the 2011 Gala Chairman. Thank you.
Un aplauso al presidente de AHHE of the Chamber of Commerce and Health. We went all odds today with the weather. Would you believe that? Coming from Atlanta, I got stuck and I had the wine. I was a wine importer and I donated the wine and then with my car. Would you believe that? That is not good, but we're here, we're going to celebrate today. Un aplauso, damas y caballeros, a la Asociación de AHHE y la Cámara de Comercio en Salud. I want to introduce today a gentleman, and I'm going to do a gentleman that's a good friend to our congressman, and let them do the honors of introducing to a great friend who has been a fighter in Washington for our health issues. People who are pioneer, and you don't realize it. You're next to them, you're in a room, and you don't realize how powerful these individuals are, who help us out, who make sure that changes are for our community, and sometimes we don't say hello. So we took the opportunity to make sure that everybody knew him today, and make sure you know who he is, and make sure that we support the people that support us. Right now I'm going to introduce Manny Mirabal, a great friend for many years, who's down in Washington representing a lot of the Latino organizations and a lot of companies in Washington, and a great friend of AHHE en la Cámara de Comercio and Health. Aquí tenemos a Manny Mirabal. Un aplauso, por favor.
Thank you, Luis, and thank you, George, and thank you to the association, and particularly for allowing me the honor to introduce Congressman Pallone tonight. Congressman, thank you for making this trip through the torrential downpour, through New Jersey and New York. We know that everyone else here has so much love for this organization and are so committed to what George and Luis are doing that you are all here tonight. And I suspect that many more will show up after they get their clothes dry tonight. As many of you know, I've worked in Washington, D.C. for 20 years. And there hasn't been one social issue serving the underserved community that I have not seen Frank Pallone being supportive of us. He's actually been in Washington a little longer than I have, about 26 years. And he's earned the right to be there. So it's an honor for me to be here with the Association of Hispanic Healthcare Executives, the 11th Annual Awards, to introduce the great congressman from New Jersey. Before I do that, just a bit of trivia. We're standing here on a water treatment plant, something that is I am connected with and something that is dear to the heart of Congressman Pallone. Years ago, when I was working as district manager for Community Board 9, which this was in, we fought with then Congresswoman Bella Abzug and State Senator Franz Leitner to make sure that this platform was built by the state. It was not just a water treatment plant. So the community could not just have clean water, but something like this. And my friend over there, Rita DiMartino, probably remembers this long ago. We had to stop traffic on the West Side Highway to get them to listen. But we are here tonight, and this is the first time I have ever been on this roof. Thank you. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the guest of honor, the legislature of the year. Frank Pallone is in his 13th term in Congress. He is in the House of Representatives representing the 6th District. It's central New Jersey. It is an ethnically diverse area with a wide range of business and industry. It includes the famous cities of New Brunswick, Asbury Park. Is that the Bruce Springsteen? Yes. And Long Branch, and one of our nation's most cherished and spectacular seashores, Sandy Hook National Recreation Area. Throughout his tenure in Congress, his legislative accomplishments have been geared to the protection of and restoration of the environmental resources and the expansion of health care to the uninsured. He is recognized as a leader on such issues as expanding healthcare access, affordability, protecting the integrity of Medicare and Medicaid programs, ensuring food safety, strengthening the federal Superfund program to clean up toxic waste sites, and strengthening the nation's clean water laws. For many years, he has served as a senior member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which has jurisdiction over important issues pertaining to energy, the environment, healthcare, commerce, and telecommunications. During the prior session of Congress, he chaired the Energy and Commerce Committee's powerful subcommittee on health, which played a critical role in shaping our historic health reform legislation, which is now law in large part to Congressman Pallone's wise and steadfast leadership. Thank you. As chairman of the Health Subcommittee, he played a key role in writing the reform bill, which is now law, and helping to guide it through the House, which was no easy task. I think I want to just read a quote from Congressman Pallone the day that the bill was passed in the House. And it says a lot about what he is and why he does what he does. And it says, "The history of failed attempts at healthcare reform reaches back decades. But more important than the historical achievement is what the reformed system will do for everyday Americans. We are not just making history, we are making a better healthcare system." Bien dicho, as we say, well said, Congressman. As Health Committee Chairman during the 110th Congress, he also led and authored new laws to dramatically improve drug safety by strengthening FDA's ability to monitor the safety of drugs after they are on the market. He also pushed through legislation through his subcommittee that eventually became law, requiring insurance companies to treat mental health benefits the same as medical and surgical benefits. Congressman Pallone is also a member of the House Natural Resources Committee, which has jurisdiction over fisheries, oceans, and other coastal issues, and serves on the Committee of Insular Affairs. He has successfully worked to stop ocean dumping and offshore oil and gas drilling. He has obtained millions of dollars for shore protection and beach replenishment work along a large stretch of New Jersey's coast, for dredging of the area's national navigation channels, and for the maintenance of his district's national recreation area, Sandy Hook. Congressman Pallone is most deserving of your recognition tonight. As a Legislator of the Year, congratulations, Congressman.
Thank you so much. I don't really know what to say after that wonderful introduction. I just wanted to say, first of all, it was really wonderful to be here tonight. It's a beautiful location. Some of you were apologizing because of the rain, but I thought it was actually even nicer to see in the rain, and now in the after the rain how beautiful it is. The other thing is you just welcomed me so warmly, took me around to every table to introduce me, so I really appreciate all that. Let me just tell you that it's wonderful to receive this award as Legislator of the Year, and of course most of it referenced what I did in the previous Congress when the Democrats were in the majority. But actually what we're doing now, when we're not in the majority and defending the Affordable Care Act, is probably just as important. Because I think, as you know, we're very much under assault. From the first day of this Congress, there was an effort which passed in the House, thankfully not in the Senate, to repeal the health care reform. And every day in the Health Subcommittee, where I'm now the ranking Democrat, we see efforts to repeal every aspect of it. I think we've had 25 hearings and 25 bills that followed up on repeal. And some of the things that are under attack you wouldn't even believe. Last week, or I should say even this week, we had a bill and a hearing that would basically repeal the insurance reforms. Right now, if you increase premiums more than 10%, you have to report it. It's a transparency provision. And 80 to 85% of the cost of the premium has to be used for actual health care, not go back, for example, to the shareholders. Well, that's now under attack, and they're trying to repeal that. A couple weeks ago, we had a repeal of the community health care provisions of the legislation, which I know I met some of you tonight represent community health centers. A week before that, we had a hearing and a bill that would repeal the funding that goes for graduate medical education, which I know we have some university people here. So I just mentioned this to you because I want you to know that a lot of people say, well, they're trying to do this, but it'll never happen. Hopefully it never does happen. But your kind of grassroots and your support that you gave us when we were trying to pass the healthcare reform is just as important now as there's an effort to try to repeal it and defund it. Also, I think you know that government programs like Medicare and Medicaid are under attack. The Republican, I don't want to be so partisan maybe, but the budget that was adopted in the House actually says that for those who are 55 and under, they would actually have to go out and buy private health insurance when they get to be 65. There won't be Medicare as a government program anymore, and we're very concerned about the future of Medicare because of that. And huge cuts in Medicaid, which, as you know, helps not only poor people, but also people in nursing homes, people that receive home health care services. This is happening on the federal level and also on the state level. So I only mention it tonight because I want to thank you for giving me this wonderful award for what I did in the last few years, but I also want you to know that the type of grassroots support and involvement that this group and all of you have had in trying to achieve healthcare reform and make sure that we have good government programs like Medicare and Medicaid, it's just as important now that you keep in touch and that you defend these efforts because they really are under attack in Washington right now, and we need as much help as you can possibly give us. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I will continue to be out there working for affordable health care and universal coverage. Thank you.
Give you this token of award to say thank you. This is not going to be enough. We never can repay you for what you've done and what you continue to do. And this is what it reads, Legislator of the Year, and well deserved. The Honorable Frank Pallone Jr., member of the House Energy, Commerce Committee, ranking member, Health Committee, New Jersey representative. And we're very, very, very happy to give you this award in a small token of appreciation on behalf of our community and our organization. Muchas gracias, God bless you, que Dios te bendiga, and keep on doing a great job. Thank you. Mónica Contreras del Canal 47 Telemundo. Let's give her a great hand. She does the sports.
Buenas noches. Good evening. How are you guys doing? Yes? This is great, right? This is an awesome view. Well, I just want to thank you for being here to the 11th Anniversary Healthcare Diversity Award Gala. Before we start, I would like to ask everybody to stand up so we could do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for being here today, and I would also like to let you guys know, as you can see, we have food on every corner, drinks. They're going to be here all night, so help yourself, walk around, have a drink. And I also would like to let you know that on the back, I don't know if anybody, or some people have walked back there, there's a silent auction. A great evening, and like I said again, thanks everybody for being here today. And I'm going to ask once again, Luis Vasquez, the Chairman, National Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Health, to come up here. And please, a big round of applause.
Great, very good. I like to play soccer, baseball, volleyball, baseball, anyway. But we also have those individuals who go beyond themselves and give us a lot more, and they try to help us out as much as we can. With this year, we decided to say, you know what, let's recognize them with a plaque, and not that anyone here is less than, but sometimes we just got to make sure that we continue to get the big dollars. So we're going to definitely give them a plaque. So today, I want to be able to call up Edna. Can you please come up, a representative? Somebody from Greater New York Hospital Association. Health First, I want somebody up here. Internet, North Shore LIJ, somebody come up from North Shore. New York Presbyterian, please. Salvez. Puerto Rican, right? South Puerto Rican, okay. There we go. And Tia Craft, please come up somehow. Here we go. We are going to say to you, muchas gracias for the big dollars that continue to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a un aplauso a nuestros amigos y a our supporters.
been so important to us and why it continues to be so important to us. You've heard so much about rising healthcare costs and so many things that are contributing to the rise in healthcare costs. One statistic: over a 4-year period, this country spent over $230 billion to address healthcare inequities. $230 billion that we had to spend because we don't have a level playing field in this country. Imagine what we could have done with that $230 billion if we didn't have to spend it on just getting the playing field level, whether that's in other healthcare areas or in other societal needs. So that's one statistic. The other statistic: each and every year in this country, approximately 84,000 people die because of the difference in access to health care between minorities and non-minorities. 84,000 people each and every year. So when you put those two statistics together, they make a very compelling both moral and business case for why this has been such an important issue for us. As I mentioned, we initiated this in 2001 and we continue to this day. Now I just want to mention very briefly 2 ways in which we address this issue. One with regard to our members and another with the community at large. I'm not going to take too much more of your time, folks, so if I could ask for your attention, please. We have various efforts underway to serve the needs of our diverse members. And all of that is driven by data. Over 6 million of our members today have voluntarily provided ethnic, racial, and language information to us. And what we've been able to do then is take that information and create specific interventions and programs to make sure that different audiences get access to the health care that they need. And I'm going to highlight just one of those efforts that we have underway on behalf of our members. And that is the Breast Health Ethnic Disparity Initiative. Latinas over the age of 40 have significantly lower mammography screening rates than Caucasians. In fact, breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer death among Latinas. And so what we need to do is design an intervention that gets those mammography screening rates up. And the bottom line is we designed such an intervention, one that's very culturally competent and sensitive. And the bottom line is that the folks that participated in that effort had a 30% higher mammography screening rate than those that didn't participate in that effort. So at the end of the day, more people screened, more lives saved. That's just one example, as I mentioned. Another that is actually currently underway. We're actually assessing right now a diabetes culturally competent intervention. We'll know the results in the fall, but we already know the early returns from that indicate that, again, culturally competent interventions make a huge difference. And what's really exciting about all of this is that it is all being led by a national medical director whose sole focus is to address racial and ethnic equality. We brought him on board last year, and he's leading these kinds of efforts going forward. So you will see more and more of these kinds of culturally competent interventions. So that's with regard to members. Just a very brief word as I close with regard to our community commitments. Since 2001, AHHE and the AHHE Foundation have provided over $30 million in grants specifically to address racial and ethnic equality issues. My area of community relations works with organizations on a grassroots level in order to address the needs of diverse communities. And so it's in that context of grant making and grassroots collaboration that I say to you that we are very pleased to continue to partner with Luis, with George, and with AHHE. And we are committed to continuing this fight to make sure that everyone has access to the quality health care that they need. Muchísimas gracias y que disfruten el resto de la noche. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
And specifically, I want to acknowledge members of our Roundtable on Health who are here tonight, members of the National Association of Hispanic Nurses, the National Hispanic Medical Association, I believe the Dominican Medical Association is here, the Association of Hispanic Mental Health Professionals, the Spanish American Medical Dental Society, and unfortunately the Hispanic Dental Society couldn't make it here, but I want to thank them for joining us this evening. And I also want to particularly acknowledge and make a mention of our two organizations that have this year become supporters of our scholarships, and that's the Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital and Hostos College of CUNY. We're looking forward to working with Hostos in the future, but this is just the beginning of what I hope to be a long and growing relationship to look at the allied health fields.
We need you to believe in us, and she truly does. A great friend, and works very closely with Lee Perlin, one of the great people up there at the New York Hospital Association. Ladies and gentlemen, un aplauso a Mary Medina, por favor. Gracias.
Good evening. I think it's rather apropos that the mic goes in and out so that you can only hear half of what we're saying because you're enjoying your dinner, and that's quite all right. But thank you very much for inviting me to take a few minutes of your time and let you know what the Greater New York Hospital Association is committed to doing. We are committed to preparing the leaders of tomorrow today. We have been working diligently for over 13 years to prepare the young people from graduate schools and undergraduate schools to take over the leadership positions within our organizations. One of the things I might do is actually, I always tell my students to ensure that they project a good image, project their voice, and project their commitment. That's something that we at Greater New York Hospital Association live by. I know many of you in this room, many of you from the Board of Trustees, many of you from the C-suite and the executive branches, because I've been in the field for over 25 years, and all of you have made what I do possible, so thank you. And thank you, George, for being the catalyst to Greater New York, to all of us in this room, to ensuring that we commit to representing the communities we serve by having the leadership reflect the communities we serve. So I want to announce that on July 18th, we are delighted to be launching the Managers Council Roundtable. Lee Perlman, who is the president of AHHE Services, is going to be the keynote speaker. This will be a series that's going to take place on a quarterly basis, and we are delighted to have many of the sponsors here agree to host a quarterly roundtable at their facility with the privilege of speaking to not only the managers who are currently serving there, but also allowing those managers to meet the CEO and the chairman of those facilities. So it's an exciting year. We're very committed to working and partnering with you and AHHE, and we look forward to having a very successful promotion within the Managers Roundtable. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.
Canal 47 de Telemundo, un aplauso.
Okay? Okay. It is my pleasure to you this evening, our co-chairs for the Managers Council is Andy Nieto, who is the Director of Community Health Education and Outreach at New York Presbyterian Ambulatory Care Network, and Clara Irizarry, the Administrative Manager for the Office of Academic Recruitment, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. So please join me at the podium, and they're going to talk to you about some of the activities of the Managers Council, which includes the lecture that was introduced by Ms. Medina.
Good evening, I'm Clara Irizarry, one of the co-managers of the Managers Council. It's a pleasure for me to be here tonight. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the annual meeting that we had on May 12th, and where we had a special invited guest from the White House. It was a closer? Okay. It was a great event to have a White House representative. Her name was Shirley Riva de Nereria, and it was a wonderful event for people who were there. She was director of the domestic team in the Presidential Personnel Office at the White House, and she was there to talk to us about how managers in the healthcare sector can increase their professional profile. And after she spoke to us, we had an opportunity to meet with her one-on-one and ask her questions, and we are looking forward to have similar events for the Managers Council. If you want to have more information about what she spoke to us about, please come up to me, ask me, and I'd be happy to share additional information about what she spoke to us about. And I'd like to then now turn over the microphone to my partner here, Andy Nieto, who's the other co-manager for AHHE.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the Managers Council. And the Managers Council has been in existence now for a couple of years, right, George? And when we first organized the Managers Council, our goal was to be able to give middle managers the opportunity to learn from those who are in senior positions in management in the different hospitals, and give the opportunity for those middle managers to continue to grow and move throughout the organization. And we're very fortunate that Greater New York Hospital Association and Mary Medina are partnering with us on this endeavor as we expose the middle managers to senior management and be able to learn from the experiences these men have had throughout the years, and be able to hopefully cultivate the future senior leaders in healthcare. So we're extremely happy. We want to thank George for his continued commitment to the middle managers in healthcare, and for also thank Mary for all that she's doing to help us achieve all our goals also. So thank you very much.
I will also ask to would like to recognize Hospital Trustee Council co-chairs Henry Calderon of Mount Sinai Medical Center and Shirley Rodriguez Remensky of Bronx Lebanon Hospital. You can come up here for a second.
Hey, 1 minute. I think I would like to acknowledge the hard work done by the Association of Hispanic Health Executives and George Suttonfield. They're doing a hard job, which is convince the powers that be in the healthcare industry that Latinos and Latinas are qualified to sit in the offices at the highest rank of managers and administration. It's like a foreign concept to the powers that be, but we have to keep working at it. And it's a job that can't be done just by the association, it's be done by all of us. Leaders in the Latino community, whether it's business leaders, political leaders, the media, we have to less concentrate on the differences and concentrate and focus on helping each other rise. I think we can't blame a hospital or medical center when they say, I can't find a Hispanic vendor. It's not their problem, it's our problem as leaders to make sure that we have qualified vendors to provide service to the hospitals. I think as we try to bring more people into the C-suite, as has been said by George so many times, we need to have vendors who are selling to the hospitals. We need to have vendors who are qualified, and it's up to us to find them, to look, to identify, and to promote with them. Because many times we can't blame the majority for saying, no encontré, I couldn't find. It's up to us. So I would hope that, if anything, that we work together in promoting ourselves and working together. What I'm doing as an individual working with Mount Sinai who spends in 1 year $1 billion buying goods and services, less than 1% goes to Latinos. Not their problem, it's my problem, because I'm not identifying enough vendors, Hispanic and Latino, to buy, to sell to them. So that's my responsibility, and I hope those that are here will take the challenge to take that responsibility to locate, identify, and promote Latinos and Latinas. So we want to get them to be in the top areas in the C-suite. We have to make sure that they're buying from us as well. Is that one minute? Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Can I ask everybody to give a round of applause to doctors, nurses? I know we have a couple nurses in the house, right? There we go. Medical field's not easy, but if you don't feel good, just scream and then they'll come and help you. Even if you're better looking, so they'll be there faster. I was born and raised in Mexico, and I came to live in California. When I was in high school, I worked in a medical office, and I always said I wanted to be a doctor. And then I saw how many long hours doctor works. I was like, oh no, there's no way I want to be a doctor no more. So I really respect and admire the medical field, and honestly, it don't matter where you go in the world, you always need good medical assistant, nurses, so please, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being such a great, people in the field. It don't matter if you're a director, you're an executive, doctor, nurses, thank you. Oh yeah.
Our honorees to, yes, it's time.
It's finally come.
It's time for the Emmy Awards. I know you've waited
A long time.
You waited a long time, so now it's going to happen. I'm going to ask
My intern,
somewhere in that crowd,
my intern
has gotten lost. So, Omar, wherever you are,
time
to
to
show up.
duty.
What I'd like to do is to invite our newest board member, Dino Segura, to come up here, and Dino's going to be introducing our first honoree of the evening.
Good evening. My name is Dina Segro-Noguera. I'm a senior account executive in AHHE, National Accounts Division, and I have the great honor this evening to present the recipient of the hospital's CEO of the Year Award to Stephen Jones. Stephen is the president and CEO. Stephen is the president and CEO of Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital and Robert Wood Johnson Health System. The system itself is, the flagship location is in New Brunswick, and there is also a location in Hamilton, Rahway, and they have the Children's Specialized Hospital in New Brunswick. Stephen is an officer and a member of the Board of Directors of the New Jersey Hospital Association and the Board of Directors of University Health System Consortium. He is a fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives. He is the past president of the Senior Healthcare Executives Society of New Jersey and past president of the Assistant Hospital Directors Association of New Jersey. Mr. Jones has a faculty appointment at Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, the MPH program at the UMDNJ School of Public Health. It is with great honor that I introduce to you Mr. Stephen Jones.
Dina, thank you very much, and I want to thank the association for presenting me with this honor on behalf of the 5,000 employees of Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, our commitment to all of New Jersey. As you know, New Jersey, our population is 18% Hispanic, but in New Brunswick City, it is 50% Hispanic. Our hospital has a great commitment to our community and development of our employees and our leaders. I want to mention just one project, and that is we have on our campus a health science high school where the hospital donated the land to the New Brunswick Board of Education, and that high school trains young people in health careers. They train in the hospital, they train in our partner, Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. Many of them are now hired and are nurses and pharmacists at Robert Wood Johnson, as just one example of our commitment to the community. I congratulate you, and I look forward to partnering with you and lots of my friends that are here tonight. I want to thank our management team that came. One of our board members, Mr. Mario Vargas, is with us, Vince Joseph, Marty Everhart, Michael Connect, our senior management, and thank you all very much.
Yeah, we have the silent auction outside, excellent, I was going to say prizes, but it's an auction, so excellent paintings and items, so go out there and anything that you buy, it really helps the organization, so you can take out your checks, and I think they're up to 500,000, so we can write a check. Not kidding. All right, I'm here with one of my colleagues, I said Charlie Spark from Tia Craft. One of our great friends, and we're going to be making a presentation to Deborah Tascone Kennedy. Can I have a representative? I don't know, she's not here. Let's give her a hand from North Shore LIJ. And I know Pat Johnson is going to be accepted on our behalf, but just wanted to hit some bullet points about Deborah Tascone Kennedy, Regional Executive Director oversees Forest Hills, Franklin, Plainview, Sayatse, and Southside Hospital, and also Lenox, correct? And Lenox. Responsible for managing and operating a budget of excess of $1 billion. Can I work for her? Come on. There you go. First registered nurse and first woman to be appointed as his hospital executive director in the health systems. Were named executive director of Sayatse Hospital in February 1997. A year later, appointed executive director of Plainview Hospital as well. Member of the American College of Healthcare, executive, and is president of the board of directors of the Project Real, residential experience in adult living. First served as the nurse director for Sayatse Hospital in 1995, and because of her clinical background has been extremely beneficial in the development of a new program and services throughout the hospital she is responsible for. Today we are very happy together here with Tia Craft to present them with the award, and the award is the Regional Director of the Year to Deborah Tascone Kennedy from North Shore LIJ. I'd like to have Howard Gold come up, please. Howard Gold is one of our great friends, and one of the VPs at North Shore LIJ, a good friend that helps us out and makes sure that helps his organization, a very good friend of our Latino community. He says he don't want to speak, but I just want him to say hello.
I knew Luis was going to do that. When I said I didn't want to speak, I knew he was going to call me up to speak. I should have said I wanted to speak. He would have kept me off the podium. Well, thank you very much for inviting me tonight, and we are very honored to be part of this association to help any way we possibly can to promote the diversity of our community and our workforce, and especially tonight to give the award to Debbie Tascone, who is a great friend of mine and a great friend of the community, especially this community represented by this association. I'm very proud of Debbie. I can't ever say enough about her, how warm and empathetic, and I have to admit, one of the people in my professional life that intimidates me, because she is so truthful and so committed to patient care that every time I go to her with a business proposition, she always says, how will it affect patients? And if it doesn't help the patient, she doesn't want anything to do with it. And you know that about Debbie. Debbie is so committed to every patient especially patients who don't have access the way they should have. So it is a great honor to be here and a great honor for North Shore and Debbie that this association recognizes her. Thank you very much.
All right, we have Pat Johnson, correct? Sending a few hellos on behalf of Deborah Tascom Kennedy.
I just wanted to say that I am humbled and honored to be chosen to accept this award on my behalf of my dearest friend and executive, Debbie Tascone Kennedy. For Debbie, her entire career, her personal passion has been to deliver the very best care for every patient. These are a few words from her, and she is sorry that she could not attend. My friends, I apologize for not being present with you this evening. As some of you know, I have a chronic disease and the last days have been somewhat challenging for me. However, my assistant and personal friend Pat, as well as my wonderful staff, are here this evening to celebrate our heritage, our differences, and finally, our inclusion as being members of a country that supports both. My toast for you is to have a wonderful evening, and I congratulate our similarities and accept our differences. Godspeed. Debbie Tascone Kennedy.
On behalf of the association, we wish you the best and thank you very much. Muchas gracias. We love you all. Thanks. I would like to have Daniel Velez come up, please. He's going to be presenting.
Before I present AHHE's Community Health Executive of the Year Award, let me tell you a bit about the honoree and why she is so deserving of such an award. Our honoree is renowned and well respected for the depth of her integrity, exemplary service, and extensive leadership, which has contributed to advancing community health center movement both locally and nationally. A little over 30 years ago, she had the foresight to see that healthcare is not just about building healthy bodies, but also building healthy communities. Back in the 70s, with a single investment of just $25,000, she, along with several other key individuals, opened a small storefront medical facility. That facility has mushroomed to a multi-site integrated health and social services organization known as Morris Heights Health Center. Today, MHHC serves over 60,000 patient families annually, employs over 425 individuals, and is the main heartbeat of a thriving community in the Bronx. And now, with the addition of yet another cornerstone to MHHC, Harrison Circle, a $50 million facility, multi-use facility, our honoree continues to be an innovator and a visionary. Our honoree has been acclaimed as one of 25 most influential Bronx women, was recently recognized with MHHC's first Legacy Award for her 30-plus years of distinctive leadership and community service. And she has shown an unwavering dedication to the people of the Bronx. It is with great pleasure that I present AHHE's Community Health Executive of the Year Award to the founder, president, and CEO of Morris Heights Health Center, Ms. Verona Greenland. Accepting the award on her behalf is her son, Joseph Pinion. Is that breaking out?
Take pictures?
Well, on behalf of my mother and the Morris Heights Health Center family, I would like to thank you all for this award. I'd like to thank the fellow honorees and as well as salute the Association of Hispanic Healthcare Executives for their strong work and enduring commitment. For some of you who do not know my mother, let me first tell her that her inability to be here is killing her. She is one of her personal pet peeves, honorees who are unable to attend. I actually call it more of a lifelong crusade against honorees who cannot attend. So she actually keeps texting me by the second, so she sends her love and her regards. And the reason for that is because that are a few times that we actually stop and take the proper time to give gratitude prominence, particularly when the individuals being honored are those champions who work so tirelessly to help give voice to the voiceless. And that's why organizations like AHHE and events like this mean so much to the healthcare movement. I look at the theme for today's event, today's leaders, tomorrow's innovators, and I find it truly fitting. Fitting because in a society where each day we find new ways to repeat the mistakes of yesterday, excuse me, the innovations of tomorrow must be informed by not just our past, but also our present. It's Daniel Webster, who was a former U.S. Secretary of State, who said, "Miracles do not cluster." They are words that are often echoed in the recent healthcare debates as to why change cannot occur. But I would say that as it pertains to healthcare, humanity and equality do not reside in the realm of miracles. Rather, they reside and they live in the hearts and the love for the human condition. There will be a day at some point when the positive healthcare outcomes for all people in this nation will be assured, but whatever methodology is used, whatever innovation is employed, whatever laws are passed, they must be imbued with the basic lessons that my mother and organizations like this one have already known intuitively, which is that the health of this nation cannot be fixed through pity, but rather through compassion. They are not fixed through demagoguery, but through conviction. And they are not fixed through philanthropy, but rather an unwavering commitment to justice. So again, I'd like to thank AHHE. I thank you all for being here in support of this wonderful event and this wonderful organization. I thank the other silent giants who have worked so hard and so tirelessly in the effort for the healthcare movement and in pursuit of the optimal healthcare outcomes for us all. Thank you very much.
So tonight we're honored to have Dr. Matos Rodriguez as one of our honorees as Academic Leader of the Year. As I indicated before, I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of working with the doctor and with Hostos to look at how we can develop the educational pipeline. Dr. Matos Rodriguez took office as the 6th president of Hostos Community College, the city of New York, in July 2009. As a trained social scientist, Dr. Matos provided previously held leadership positions in foundations, universities, policy centers, and branches of government. I'd like to ask Rita to make a few comments here because she knows him personally. Thank you. Come on.
Well, I just want to say how very pleased we are to have someone like Dr. Matos Rodriguez as the president of Hostos Community College. He's doing an outstanding job, and we are so pleased and honored to have him there. I'm now going to ask my friend here and also member of the Board of Trustees for CUNY, City University of New York, to say a few words.
Doctor, would you please come up?
My name is Dr. Morales. I have the privilege of being a CUNY trustee for the past 9 years. And I can tell you that I have the privilege of working with many presidents of the university. And I can tell you that Dr. Matos Rodriguez, we call him fellow, is one of the most outstanding presidents that we have in the university. And as a member of trustee, I feel very proud, and it is a privilege to be here with all of you honoring Dr. Matos Rodriguez.
Thank you, George and Luis and the members of the association, and it is a true honor when you get introduced by not just trustees of the caliber as Dr. Morales and Rita De Martino, but individuals that in this group need no introduction because they've been so active on behalf of the Latino community and particularly on the health field. So I feel very honored to have you introduce me here today. award has my name, but obviously we're really honoring Hostos Community College, and I'm proud to accept the award on behalf of our 7,000 matriculated students, our 10,000 continuing education students, our 500 faculty and staff. We have representing here the faculty, Dr. Juan Preciado, who's been teaching at Hostos for 25 years, and it's a symbol of the dedication of our faculty and the great people that we have serving our students in the Bronx and in Northern Manhattan day in, day out. We also have here Dean Carlos Molina, who is our Dean of Continuing Ed and Special Programs, who's now heading the largest grant that we have received in our history from HHS that would allow us to train 900 low-income individuals and put them into health careers. So we're looking forward when we train these CNNs, these LPNs, these nurses, and many others, that the many great institutions here that we have will open their doors to those great individuals that we're training. So thank you so much. We look forward to continue to working on, with all of the groups that are here. And I'm very proud to be the president of the institution that, although we serve all New Yorkers, particularly in the Bronx and in Manhattan, we have been for 43 years the school in the state of New York with the largest percentage of Latino students in our student body. So thank you so much. Thank you to the association, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Lifestyle Health Advocate of the Year Award. And I want to be able to call Elaine Medina, MA, Vice President of the Healthy Kitchen Incorporated, La Cocina Sana, and Dr. Robert Del Amor, founder of the Healthy Kitchen Incorporated, La Cocina Sana. Let's give him a great hand. I have like a bio, I got a book over here, so if I read, we're going to be here 3 days. So we're going to do Dr. Robert Del Amore. Tutto bene, cosa dice Say I speak Italian. Say this, it helps. He's a research educator of the physical professional chef and founder of the Healthy Kitchen Incorporated, creator of the award-winning nutrition education workshop entitled The Food, Power of Food, Life Skills, Nutrition, Children and Families, has been teaching and facilitating a bilingual educational program and curriculum to Latino Americans, parents, educators throughout New York metropolitan and area over 5 years. Recognized for a highly effective curriculum, and he has conducted professional and development for educators and administrators to the pre-K school to 12 levels, college level, along with 3 branches of the military. What haven't you done over here? Okay, and I'm going to stop it right there, and I'm going to go right over to Elaine, right? Elaine Medina, Vice President of Healthy Kitchen, La Cocina Sana, and new multi-age life skills curriculum workshops promoting nutrition, eating, and cooking for children, young adults, and parents. Director of the Adult Education for the Central Islip School District, which he oversees a program with more than 1,100 Hispanic students. Offers award-winning series on bilingual lectures and cooking demonstration for faculty, parents, students, blah, blah, blah. You get it. You get it all? What the bottom line is that they do and educate, and the reason why we nominated them is because they educate on individuals and children eating very healthy. On behalf of the AHHE and the National Hispanic Chamber of Commerce on Health, which is more an award from AHHE, I would like to present it with an award of the year for, there we go. Let me read the award. Lifestyles Health Advocate of the Year, meaning that what you do out there to educate our children and our communities to eat healthy is what it's all about. And we could not speak any more highly for what you do on behalf of the community. So we do, from our heart, we want to congratulate you. We thank you for what you do out there. And this is nothing that, a token of appreciation. Muchas gracias. And here is the award. Yeah, there's 2 awards. There we go. We get 1 each. Wow. We got good. We got money here. We get 2 awards for the price of 1. George, come up for the photo, and then we'll give you 1 minute each so you can say gracias. Go ahead.
Yes. First, I want to say thank you to Luis and George for this. This is an honor. And also, I would like to thank the founder of the Healthy Kitchen, Dr. Robert Del Amore, who gave me this opportunity to work with the community and help our community. And to you, thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to thank AHHE, the Board of Directors, especially Luis